in business, you have to be bold to take it.
And then, of course, there was a time Oka said we share former flag bearer of the new patriotic party in the person of Professor Albert Dubois. Na mushia na mudi nkomo nipa amaboaboa mo ho akohia no ochia we ya say oh mebeye mampani a mema opposition we mehia we a mema we and na ohwe wanim no ka kire say you will be a very successful businessman sabre no betima ka say eye nkomhye no hye
mama nchiro enye sa ohie nipa
okay
1992 we were so sure with the euphoria and what town said party politics also without dictatorship and all those things. See, Professor Dubois was so sure. So be winning. Enti economy me, Dr. Preku, and a lawyer Asidu, the boss
okay.
Nansen from 2 years ago. And you call fee airport. A hawk nano washishe or moi. So when ya we be say. Now no or tap on me say you're gonna be an okay. Any phone me Dr. Asidu and or no Professor Dubois.
And indeed you have also become
initially initially I was offended.
Okay.
So we gave him deputy minister being here. Near whom na me being who say you're going to be a good businessman. And in fact, to tell you the truth, and when the mom decided Namfiso Abia Anko University Casa made businessman. Mama call university in Zukrana Muzo. Mamiya Anko Mbajuma in Yamsika.
Now, why ye Juma Emma Nyamia Wadom Ugusua Unyini Uko and Imsikasem Ubi Newman kakra any idea. At the end of cow said, say baby Adri, let me go into mainstream politics. I win a GDA crowd or MPP party. At the end of motivating.
Well, I've been a member of parliament for 24 years. Timinim. Problem. Timisha Onim and ne Obi or TV so did I dano adintina wanka adia vitimedi a brewer ye and now we are here. Bisa no wanka say oye minister utu omufu anu omufana. You see, if wa Christiano, he said no BC and first year no man. Wa Christiano, o can be I am family. What you say? And I mean my cabinet crowd to make a point. I only our ministers and talk to them what we can do. Nobody pays me any mind. So at a point I decided to say, look, say Ghana be yedia and iswadi hunu me woro. This a mia kasa me lead country. Na sabi enipa ye waha na ye wo parliament the bia metin say ya approve loan. The only time sika e wo Ghana ha taxes e workers kakrano e adwuma ena port maybe yenye skefie koko no wombeto wie kra ye de kakra already because ko heji what you say
yeah
o share exporter and negligible compared to the imports into the country. So I just decided, no, I'm going to contest, win the election, and change this country by especially two things that I'll do: tourism and agro processing. Now, agro processing, before you do that, you need a large scale mechanized farm. What do you say?
Exactly.
Ghana, I'll give you one example. I bought a land at the Domi, with the ethanol plant, and about Konso at the 30,000 acres. 30,000 acres. At the 30,000. At the Domi, 30,000. I'll come to Sege. Now, your name partners, those who are willing to partner, we will share my vision. Asaba Mukani say, Ghana, a bro, ne boarding. Inti yankoto bro, en free Brazil. Import mrawu. Na still, it will be cheaper than Ghana, a bro.
Say a bruna mo better or Ghana.
Yes.
Ede aye mo ede feeding mo plant no. Moto or Ghana ha ne boy de.
Yeah.
Dan se mo bekra.
Yes.
Ede abaha no.
Yes.
Wow.
And the reason is simple.
And say
Here, me call north. I see that a bit more attempt to have big farms and everything. But we hear yield in one banwa. It means a slow down. A share a bruno yield. They will not maximize any.
send a bruno e bono.
Right. That is why I used the word mechanized.
Okay.
Let me give you one example. Sege. And also, many investors could share. We agree, say, you better tomatoes. Because uko Dubai port free zones wa. Nyama akwano exporto ba. Say o importo eba Dubai from African countries, Senegal, Gambia, Cote d'Ivoire, and Guinea. Tomatoes. Or say, or call first to Senegal. Now, a 1 hectare of tomato farms. Now, only 15 tons. Or no, with new technology. Or I'm going to be segi, tomatoes. New technology. 1 hectare be at only 70 tons per hectare. Yeah. So now, cost of production, obia 1 hectare, onya 15 tons. Now obia 1 hectare, onya 70 tons. Why? Ena obetini a ton ni nyomano cheaper. Obese enye sika still.
Now onya 70 tons.
Exactly. Ti Ghana ebro efuonu susa. Technology no agrarian style of farming. Enti ema brom kura mo kese enye sika wo. O dey say nti Ghana bro $250 per ton. Ghana for no sun say ne bofu. But say o pesa we ethanol na o compete with Brazil. Brazil is leading maize production
in the whole world.
Yeah.
Wow.
So omo ethanol, a ton of ethanol is $700. But so you should Ghana a brono acetasa, a ton will be 920.
On our India.
The cost of production, a bro boarding. What do you say? NT, Mikachum said no. Sir, me per president Eddie. Me reason back on youth unemployment. Ni be kreti enyuma ama meme mrante ne mabao. Now say meme nkokra ebro. No. Whatever it takes for me to produce or grow corn and get a yield that ebetimi $150 per ton, I'm going to do it. Now listen. Or say if you are able to save $100 per ton on the maize, or the to me grow. Na cost no be $150 per ton. in 2 years, $100 million investment in Metica.
Wow.
Ethanol, yes. Now, I like such challenges. Say, Ofu say Ghana intimi here. Me catch it, me there wom. I catch it, say Brazil. A crime be on faso yen. Me, I'll do same and beat them, cost down.
Honorable, a kwanya Brazil for faso. I am a
of course.
Obey your Ghana.
Of course, yes.
Obey Mampenia.
Yes. No, this one, I have started already. Mr. My design no BBI.
Wow.
Baby, I delay any rounds here, Miko. I guess I started.
It's not just before, say,
you see, mommy opportunity. It looks as if it come across me a president and a BBI minimum. Mommy explain me. Me tia CCCA. Nyamana no kanyina. And say me dawana. Me sorry I me griana me for plans a look. Ethanol. Now let me go into coconut plantation. Ewo. Ochireko. O mama me 15,000 acres.
Gomo Ochireko.
15,000 acres. Baby ye pharmaceutical. And we're only 100 acres. 15,000 acres. No. Medicine is a kube.
Coconut plantation.
Yes. 15,000 acres. Straight. Nefi, miankasa, and one. Sugar, flour, everything. We'll get different factories in there. That's how we have to challenge ourselves. Na me da osa no pa human na me planning na ideas neba nti ni amene wo ka no ebi yo wa ma start dada what they say ethanol no adakulu asase no me kora na mhu se ekwa no se omu bank no etimi boye pa na che se the soil is good for ti ye de adakulu ho no ebe ye cassava near the adidomi aye maize na tie the intrigue you say cassava no yield no starch near a dose of chain maize.
Okay.
But it takes about 8 months to get a good day from cassava. So 8 months, you know, we have grown 2 seasons. No what so I don't think I mean say a bear banking we grow, but you get more yield from cassava than especially when we are doing starch. But you're afraid to be wet processing. And you want dry processing. Wet processing, you know. Byproducts now being a bromo. A dose dry. Dry no one. Oye ethanol no. Ni abenyano obenya poultry feeds a free. And na omo CO2. CO2 no gas. And no na Coca-Cola for beer utu so je pop. Yeah. But the quantity of CO2 I been I say Ghana or my check it. They do detail work. Who be do hono? No mu crowd profile. Who you are. Country no. Adi amu person or my check it bibia. Adi a compare we are saying. I say we'll get about 50,000 tons CO2 a year. But Ghana and consume that quantity. Enti se wo ton CO2 no so $200 but when 230 namza e be go aside there we still have to take a shot and sell it at $200 more exporter the only a year benya 30 namza it's still better than none say the be go they say
e den ya benya kakraba because Ghana mebunu ene mrante maba we benya adwuma yenti you think say still you have to do that now honorable ansana ye beto akoso na fe yakọ other products no so na ye di ho enkomo no ade ba ko bi hwehwe nkofo aso se you are talking about say ye modern say betimi aye nneama wa ha ye be nneama wa ne nso ya export amanfo nsem ombusa no say what about omo a import no plans ben na wo between the two kwan be na be fa so be manage ni me no.
You see, obi import wa there. Na me ka say me ban ya. Ofi say masay na adwuma. No. I'm making it easier for you. One, na me ka say
Okay.
Me you're young. Na Ami Sangari shop a factory bi o Cape Coast. Fact, just opposite Kevas. Ami Sangari soap. Ye fring crank ekoto Ami Sangari soap from Cape Coast. And you have a tongue a Kanshi fire service side. A wholesale. So let's say we are producing rice. And then many yonku Indian Gaza. No, so over 300 bucks. Or 100,000 bucks of rice imported. Meanwhile, you call baby, I'm boarding says a China Paga. Here come filling stations and rice. Oma paki, looking for buyers. One side there is a Ohene bi eba me nchen wo yendi hotel room on me debate 2 hours. No catch him say he shares my vision. Now on me ka say last year rice odo ye no egu ho a onya buyers. Yes. And this year the enso abekam. Meanwhile, as a menyonko over rice 100,000 bucks or ton. Now, assuming I stop the Indian from importing, he now goes to China Paga, Tamale, Fimbusi area, and buy the rice, bring it to Accra to come and sell. Means say where you so the obi are all panicky, say we are importer. I'm making it easier for you because here wahala will go through. Ewo habo no mu twefam ni achi wo mu ade bia machiche custom fo agum ani say one o hwe nipa no e ma ni tua duty na wo se makobo barrier ewo Kumasi junction ho baabi oduru anu asa akire no aginisika who allowed a Newman to travel that far
from the same port?
Good. If he shows his document, if he shows his document, say what your duty, who officer awareness sign, yeah, who undercut a for government to lose money. I will set the trader free and punish you, the custom officer, because they let them go through frustrations. What you are saying? Me a businessman to minimum. Make me a Cassandra true, but Anna this time was you one year. But Enuna essay Ghana. He said, custom officer be a UAB am Kotoy. Or to me catch that Aquati Jisi can was unfurnished money because time no or what or share in your man so I'm not here, Untianaka. No, yeah, under invoice a man.
Hey.
Yeah.
Custom officer.
Yes.
In Ghana.
Yes.
Hey. Eti sir.
Emmanuel, and not traders, no. I'm rather saving them this wahala. Instead of, you see how they lose money. They should rather praise me. Instead of say, Omo fear. One. Now no Mr. $1. Yeah, ko Tamale. Mr. $1. 11.95. And then my sister $12.3.
Akosro.
Yes. Akosro me mageni. Onuna okotonyo man will lose you. But the local production price is constant.
Just a
no fluctuation.
What me plan usika.
Exactly.
Me say na me dey
exactly.
Pepe.
Me koto mo Fumbusi. A truckload of rice. Ebe costume me say. Transport to be say. Ebi okra ofa call na ufre. We a bank transaction. Pay. They send the truck to your warehouse. Do you prefer that or uba kremiyama na beba port na chese omu ko up and down? Now I am sure Kotina custom officer office On our cost strike deal. When we are producing rice from Fimbisi, China, Paga, Tamale, maybe our cotton rice, you only make the order and they bring it to you. Okay, say, because I'm a barney a year, now, the young 50 kilos of rice imported is 720. Today, 50 kilos of Ghana rice is 650.
That is a Ghana, they know form.
Exactly. A difference of 70 cities. Now, in economics, what we say is two things. If you want to satisfy your citizens, you should make sure supply and demand meet at a point where we call equilibrium point. What you are saying? That is for domestic. When you want to do export of a tawia, your supply should exceed demand. Meaning you can satisfy the demand locally and have excess, and the excess will be exported.
Okay. Now, just idea na wo ye no, you betimi aye e ma na dose more. Now fe omo ehie bi e wo ye man mu no. Yetimi asset wo mo ye wi ansa na de aka no. Na fe ye de kwa amano ne support.
Look, let me tell you. We are saying, a kumbaba baby, and a kubaba, nay hardships. The first determinant of hardships, a biane. So, Usha, the biamity and Honamishe, America. Kosia, Boya Dia, President in no trouble.
Kosia,
yes, Kosia. Omudi Kosia chair bianibia. In the America for cost shop, one funny idea no way say COVID time. Say aduane gu shop near kase mo bia MP ni yina. Omkwa no mato aduane ni yina. No moja bi light yem fan say ensu ato wa ha na dum light ni yina na. He doesn't care about the light. He cares about the food first.
Because bone ni panen kwa.
Right. And Tina, America, Europe, be beer aduane food. Because the aduane di agura, obey so unpopular. Next time, umbetu. So what is different from America, Europe, China, and Ghana? We are the same. Yes. The only problem we have, why Ghanaians need a businessman to address them, they say, without due respect to presidents for no most of them are in business. To omonium the hardships Ghanaian businesses and traders go through.
A business.
Good. One, cost of borrowing.
Say
very, very expensive. Two, electricity costs. Send your mom you and Mark Ghana for intimate competing globally with our products. Honestly speaking, in your my SCCA baby, Bitia Buona, ne board didn't say they can never export it. And now, target so it will be limited to people who can afford, not everybody. But who your business are? You should have a wide range of customers. And about aduane dia, it should be affordable to the ordinary man on the street. There's a young man here, good. Take this product. Whey is imported. Corn grits, hot cereal. Okay?
Yeah.
This, look at it.
Made
in Ghana. But this is more expensive than the imported one.
Ghana
now, parents are Obama wait 30 cities.
Simple.
He has to cut costs, manage his scarce resources. What you say? So what I told them is, the package is nice, but he needs to go large scale so that he can reduce the cost of production and also reduce the prices. And yes, sir, the package is nice, but nipa bibri ento because 30 cities for the area. When I have a substitute ni say ade a waye ni nice metimi akọ nika so mayam ebro beba be cancer cocoa.
Yeah. Ofa chire ya hausa cocoa ne bro ndo ahi.
Enti wo de millet beye, wo de ebro beye, nti e basa no a ye nto me de.
Nti nipa bi sei no kwan be na do o fa so.
E na me ka bibi say Asia model or Asia miracle.
And say
when you see people with potential like this and they have problems, when me engage woman no, na me friend no, engage woman na me hu say e sikasam machines o de ye. You see, you need a machine a betimi aye way about 2,000 or 2,005 an hour before you can match this company. But they don't have that kind of machine.
Capacity nini ho.
Right. Because of sikabi. So when we identify young men like this, and you know their problems, then you put in the capital for them. What you say? They buy equipment. Government will become a shareholder of the business until he pays off the loan. That is the Asia model.
Chese obema no sika ebema na timi aye production bi ese so oye. No watua no nkakra.
Mama nchro.
I know say.
And obi chira me ona ense me yiri na ka say professor bi argument ni. Mama nchro. Se wo ye wadwene say wo de sika bia no opehu bia didi opehu mfaso a you can never develop this economy. Because one, a brono a phone. Our Brazil, they subsidize their farmers. They know the importance of food, so government puts in money. Okay. Enti say percent you reduce import of food. According to Ayarga, we import between 4 billion to 4.5 billion. Now, me me a catch across a but be a year. I know, sir. Fish, you import $450 million. Sugar, $700 million. Rice, $450 million, $500 million. Flour, $350 million. What are 4 items in one? Almost 1.6 billion.
Sanyama we say import here.
Simple. Go to Upper East, Efekeke, Asasi Daho, Fimbisi area. They try, but if they go mechanized with new technologies in agriculture, they will get a lot of yield. A bit maximize it, profit in here. What you say? One, what we have to do is the government has to come in to make sure, say, rice locally being so 50 kilos, should be 450. Make ready market for the farmers. First, now make a command and then the area. What to do? I simply don't get it. Say, local farmers wa na 1 year ni womo rice yento. Papa bi abeche me bro $1,000. Womo nyato fonti. O de bro na abeche. Kumasi.
Oh.
Yeah, Ohene bi. O de abeche. Se me pa min ton o pese o de boa me campaign. Eye so sad. Meanwhile, most buffer stock. Na buffer stock. Ekra sardine. Ekra emu. Ekra milk. Ekra whey. Yo kube milk. Yeah, yere kube ebu, yebesa trim. We are going to go minimum about 500,000 acres. All the assemblies, you are going to plant coconut or yam or maize or cassava. Just say, the beer and this is brain. Yes. Now, we now you bet me the kube I milk near cotton milk. You import near the bread students. Now you import a more at the bread students. At their co schools. Now Ghana farmers, you know. What kind of country is this? As a year a binary said, yes, we cannot do away with subsidy. And yes, sir, compare the $4.5 billion now Ghana for us Sikadia cotton. If you have that amount of money here, you know how your economy will change. It will stabilize. It will stabilize your currency and give value to
Obewu sase mostly ya na title say aban eboa ekuafo oboa de tonfo oboa wemu na sika no se be san aba back biem no ana ebetimi akoye de sese ekwakoye no eno na ya asem no kwan be na obetimi afa so amana ye de so ye
ewiase young man adia din wo wiase pa ni se ubenya sika edi aye adwuma enti se obi ma sika se fa kwa ye adwuma na wo kodidi a Asia miracle what they did was that so when you ma sika e ba it is a mranti machine and omope wan kasa chire baby a machines a ubenya de aye adwuma. The government will import the machines without giving you the money straight to the company. But it's in your name. You are dealing with a company. Okay, say be 3 months. If you can 3 months, machines remember 3 months, 1 week. Government officials will be there to inspect. Say the machines have arrived and we are fixing. Oh, in your mind, first excuse. So how many months now we're expecting 2 months. 2 months, 1 week, they will be there to check. No third excuse. Maya, they take them a uniform from you and give it to another person.
Yeah, why are you ready?
Yes. Enti me a man me no muka. Say me the member obesia free. Fakoye adwuma. Na mom tua. Na wo didi a meche watu.
Ono abo ano nyehye.
You see, utwi ya wo kan wa hai. Enu nti ne ho ntoy wo Ghana no. Wo betimi akọ abrochire ne ama osika se fa ye adwuma na wo abaka james anu wo hwe se na ntua ne ya chebe. Why na ka chire wo? Why na ka chire wo za? You have to pay. Na utua good. Utua any amount more. Now the American is still going on. Chinese policy, and he said they are now giving Chinese people money, free interest, to come to Africa and develop and establish businesses. Yes. Yes. Many million Chinese near Yaman $20 million. Exactly. So we have to be bold as a nation. But another catch of your question is politics. You see, all this economy man, and I'm saying making the Agyapong, me a politician, that this Canada will buy sika no way. Me memo who say a buy sika ye need. Yeah, the ball business as so was sing am why you juma. But let me also tell you the gospel truth. You hear me talking about foreigners taking over our country economy. I don't hate anybody. I have a lot of them as friends. But I'll give them credit. For Lebanese ni jina ha, India ni jina ha, for Ghana for me ni jina ha. Ma ubia $50,000 or $500,000. So mfangwa juma. Lebanese ni India be juma. Abetuya interest. leba India need India be adwuma. Ghana need 500,000 okoto car first. Otobia man papa bi hotel omo man $3 million World Bank loan. Menchire wa ya. Hotel no egu because oje $3 million oto Mercedes Benz miensa. Ne de baako, ne yere de baako, ne ba de baako.
Aban sekentia.
Dabi World Bank loan omo de ma. Ene anwene ne se esi ho. Menchiro first na nka mechiro. They say menchiro. So say suban na e wo Ghana for mu. Eno nso nti na ama foreigners have taken over our country. The good thing about foreigners is that oma bie ya ni say Ghana ohia ni hasika wa ha because onu tumi ekobọ bisia free ni kurom e de beye adwuma wa ha enya sika. Eno chiro say Ghana hasika wa ha.
What the car can say me say Ghana ha no yenye poor ne mom as a your leadership no ene ye poor eno no sa asem no chirim say
yeah leadership ye poor ni say you need obia ote business asia onim problems a ewo Ghana businesses mo a enu nti emma businesses enkoso ma one typical example Onsi Development Bank. Me, I'm against that development bank.
Yeah, the board development.
Good. That is the more reason here me against it. Ukoji sika $800 million. Mabe establish a bank. Some more beboa businesses. Do you know what they did? Lazy approach. They thought by giving the money to commercial banks as a loan, no more disbursement businesses. A defeatist approach complete. Now, as a government bank, development bank, and your main aim or purpose of establishing that bank is to help entrepreneurs and the businesses. Now, more establish a bank ni wiya. Mo disikano akoma commercial bank. Fidelity, commercial bank, one, all the commercial banks at 18%. Yeah, how are you going to help it? Now, the commercial banks will have to disburse this money at a cost to the consumer. Okay? To ensure, say, 18% no the amount, he has to increase it up to about 25. Now 25% interest on a loan. How can a business survive or compete? They say me plastic we yamfanze we. India for be yebi. Assuming I don't have my capital. Now India ni ko bobisia 5%. Now me ma ko bobisia 25%. He will knock me out of business. Yeah, because the cost of production of the Indian with the loan of 5% is far cheaper than maybe the 25%.
Now, honorable, Argentina Development Bank, no, Argentina Sunday coffee biso, Amako,
anything I've got just a defeatist approach, lazy approach. When I'm so school, you know, let me give you one funny. Because birthday party be wo pram. Now here come business near here. There's one fine guy. He argues very well. Articulate his views. Nice. Here kasa no so ko Harvard. And we say a board member a development bank. Now we want it. I'm sitting here. The one I'm sitting here. Na meneno. The church and I'm saying one kasa we crashing me oko Harvard. Is that how they operate in America? Tell me. But any argument now wouldn't finally what he said was that in fact there's a woman on their board who argues the same way like I did to him. says they say wakowa or one person na nipa na womu government na establish a bank no womu one is to make money from businesses, not to promote businesses. Yeah.
Sikano mbenya no modwen ho.
Yes.
Na momanya so
onim say o promote businesses no. Taxes kwano ebe ma wo anya o investment no back. So,
yeah.
And electricity cost. Me lose 2 businesses because of electricity.
Hey.
Yeah. Ghana, charge micro steel plant, omu 16 cents per kilowatt hour. Hey. And the crowd me go to 15 cents. My brother. Côte d'Ivoire is 8 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm about checking you know. Electricity they've gone to Côte d'Ivoire. I've lost the business. So, as a businessman, I know the challenges Ghanaians are going through. And I know, sir, if I'm able to solve that problem, and are those problems now, and the Ghana economy are picking. That is why I've decided to contest and domesticate everything we eat. At least everything we eat, we domesticate it. Then the second phase of my technology, engineering and technology. We build our own drones and everything. So we call Madagascar no more drones are spray farms so any. What are we doing?
Say opese ya build your drones no instead of say we crowd.
Of course.
Yam build wa ha.
Of course.
Ni enso yan ton bi.
Of course.
Ye betimi aye.
Why not? Look, Dr. Mensah, Atlanta, space, or a disco guy, or 7 patents. In your more, Oba Ghana, I'm frustrating, sir. And we, or head of NASA, space, Dr. Mensah, Opa Google, fiber optic, 7 patents. Anyway, as a Ghanaian. If you like, go to America and see young men. And right now, my name is bad girl, Madam Second Born, or no finance. But see, apartment, building or team, the next door, Ghana ni, or Microsoft, or Ofie.
Wow.
Obao. And what they are doing over there. Oko, Seattle, Washington. Oko, Missouri, St. Louis. Oba, New York. It's just that Ghanaians are now everywhere in IT. Why not just see it? But we need to appreciate them. The problem we have in this country is that, and painful makes it uncomfortable for the youth to grow. They all made a move in Ghana here. And on frustrated they left. And they are doing marvelously well. Obi Ohana Onye Juma and Okoye IT and go and see their homes. We have to bring these young men back. Maybe catch St. Louis Vono at Webster University said, after everything, we're going to go into IT. It is from March, I'll put in $5 million. Let's start something here.
From March?
Yeah. And yes, I'm your president and go. Me. Assembly am a cancer. Now, and yet, way now, taking me time. And can your mom able bossing baby must start it at that. Look, they were partner, Indian year, or person building ships. Ghana. We cited Takrady. On crowd was 50 acres. Obisa, Moba crowd, 1,000 acres crowd, Menyama. Opa Google, company, friend, Aries, ARIES, who design and build ships. He is the president of Billionaires Association in Dubai. Opa Bisa Charles Bisi. I took him to the meeting. Now, oputu pressure, in fact, or another technology, you students are there, dropouts, and the studio, and they've come here to inspect it. I don't know if you were here.
I was here.
Yeah. We're filthy rich.
Wow.
What I said? He's begging me to sign the MOU. Me so, mommy, wait here. February, meba, since. Me pushing everything to February. And yet, we have a demi who kushi more. Come on, started that.
I was many honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong and Yedi Nkomo, the incoming flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party. Delegate Nkomo Yedi Nano Minimse Mutiebi. Nia okan eyenipa ane yede omo beye adwuma no enti wo a wo hwe yen no o se bomodin na choose no oye number 1 dada enti tim no so na ombedi animu na afei ommoa ama enema empeja no mmie bienwuma ama yenyina yenye binye abusuama menkanfo CO233 Emporium Company Limited emaw usikasem na enkoyie no yebeboa ema na siye afe se bia na wo efie bia opese oton ana so se efie bi woni so opese oto a ni nyina no ye betimi agirem na afe ya boa amasa adwuma no akoyie pe ye kira kwan ni nkomo ye wo Jowulu ye Ben Pig Farm runabout no frɛ ni nkomo e wo 0244 533 082 0244 533 082 na yeni nkomo tabia takum eye memedro bomodin se obema wonsa etimi akan bie baabi eton aduro bia aduro a o se bepe tabia takum tiano na tafre obebo adwuma amwa wonsa ampa wo ye be mamu a won na so asene ma yede enkomo ebre osinipen ane etiso ye from Mr. Inkum mene honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong ane yedi nkomo ewa ha o wahabi na wo hwe ya obewu se ya hyehye niam bebre wa ha na eniam na ya hyehye wa ha no ye nton na mom ye be kyerɛkyerɛw eniam no amwa hunu se ampa ye nso so ye oman a se ye boye ho so a ye betimi aye bibi amia man no afa ne tampa afura ene da TV no so no me sure se wankasa wahu honorable de di kan mami musa okọ rounds who engage with MPP party delegate so monto abama enema bebrebe we ya wo de ekon ne ade no ene sen kire mu
me pese me kire delegate say Ghana ehia ye na emom okandifo a oti business ase any business a wo nimdie e wo businesses mo enyuma ho ene betimi abu oman no ama Ghana asesa na Ghana itself no die wo ha a blessing ko nyankopon ama ye epo asa ama ya asase one time a ye betimi edidi e wo nim nyina mu ukọ Mali Burkina Niger no mu ne ya omo ye landlocked country epo no kura no omo ni bi omo de omo ne oma bisia na anu Burkina boy abranti wakra thermal plants obeyi water kurade from Takoradi to Wase Krupon and Yeshia yebisa from Takoradi to Wase Krupon kwemo no more than 6 weeks but the young man bibisa senti ombere or say omo eko efa Wase Krupon to baby ani to a half go so oma kofa Techiman to Chiana Paga and Burkina. Now, so from Takoradi to Wase Krupon is 6 weeks there. That's only bare 7 months.
Wow.
But the young man is determined, say, no more say Obato power every Ghana. He is building his own. We met it. Say group Unibi, they will tell you. Now, speed the aircon. Me akokura meti me akọ twaka no akọ be 300 meters asaba na enko na nim baby but still the guy is determined. So if we are say you have to be determined say ade we meye na meye nso am na ebi no aya enso ebetimi aye I'm an example.
Okay.
Yeah. Soya beans. Wait. Because 5 northern regions now, but beer, soya beans. What him say? Papaya, fremi, chiana pagani na vrungu. Dua meko pa. I'm catch you say, ye di meko, toothpaste.
Meko?
Yes. Ye di kube toothpaste. Ye di meko toothpaste. Yeah. Chili. Enyoma meko tumi ye no a omu nya tofu. They were India for they are looking for meko. Wait, soya beans. Everywhere in 5 northern regions, omu ye soya beans. But factory baku kure ni hwa. Ya di soya beans eye milk. Ya di soya beans eye milk. This is soya beans with chocolate. Milk. Soya. Milk. Mixed with chocolate. Yakra way free Holland and Haba. Why? Me call down
soya bean bi wa.
Exactly. Me call down na ni nyina me say adentina ye wo soya beans bi wa. Na ye ntimi fa sa factory si bi ma. Na ye ne kokra way ediba. So when I say I'm going to ban importation of all this, you have to understand. First, for me to ban this, I have to make sure say I have all the factories in motion. Yeah, a produce way. We should produce to 2 points. One, at equilibrium point where supply and demand meet at that's what we call equilibrium in economics. Then 2, when supply exceeds demand, we can export. We can export this. That's where we make money. So to ban this, we'll make sure say you produce ama supply and demand na you pay. Exactly. Now, onipa bi a officer wakra we a masay na adwuma no. I'm rather making it easy for him or her. Because now, baby, I had a factory ni besi. Or ko koto, it will not take 3 months to send your wakra na esi eposo eba. It will rather facilitate your business. Easier. So I'm not going to knock anybody out of business. I'm rather going to help them maximize profit. What you say?
Yeah.
So soya beans, to make it affordable, the government have to subsidize.
My name Abrante bi anoye banker. Oka kire me se onya sika kakra capital e no